this is the last video of the series of the S.I.M.P.L.Y family business model. These series are based off this book, Win the Money Game with an Online Business. If you haven't already, it is on Amazon. Go get a copy because it gives you a detailed process of how to start and run your online business. And if you already have a business, it doesn't exclude you, because every now and then as a business owner, you need to find out, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And how can I actually accelerate the process of growth in this business? So this book will help you to do that. Now, I have been talking about the process in terms of the word simply. S is about how you can search for the business. In fact, before I start anything or I'll proceed, I just want to introduce myself if we haven't met before. My name is Beatriceyakubu. I'm the founder of S.I.M.P.L.Y Family Business, and indeed I help entrepreneurs to grow their businesses or start and grow. And my passion is for parents to be able to do this and help their children to do the same as well, because I want us as parents to get our children grounded in money aspect, because the money problem is a big problem. And if you are able to understand it yourself and get your children to start making money early in their lives, life is going to be embraced for you and for them as well. So that is my premise. Now, I have been talking about these three, this is the third series of video about the S.I.M.P.L.Y family business model. I talked about the word simply is S.I.M.P.L.Y. So simply, S is search, how you search for the information in order to start a business. I is how to identify the digital platform that you can use to as a base to be present online. Third is mastery, how to master the business process that you can actually run the day-to-day services for your business. And P is a position, how to position yourself as the go-to expert in the field, whether you are selling soap, whether you are selling apparel, gowns, whether you are selling information product, or whether you are coaching people to be able to change their lives. In this video, I'm going to talk about the last of the two, which is L, leverage, and Y, yield. Let's get started. L, leverage. Now, even though I talked about the digital media, you can sell in the digital media, but I use L to get you to understand the process of selling, because there's a saying that in this world, two things are the most important skill that would get you rich and wealthy. Are two things, which is public speaking and the art of selling. And those are also the ones that people dislike the most. Because there's a survey, actually, people would rather die than speak in the public. And to be honest, until you put your mind to it, to say that I will speak and learn the art of speaking, it can be very daunting. It can be very daunting, whether speaking at work or speaking in the party, at the party, or speaking in a gathering. It can be very daunting. Never mind speaking in front of people, i.e. speaking to them with the intent of convincing them to see the value that you are putting on the table. That is a challenge. And the reason why it's a challenge for most of us is because, and again, It's all in this book. But, Win the Money Game with an online business. The reason why doing that is a challenge for most people. In fact, the book you can get on Amazon. So if you type in Win the Money Game with an online business, beatriceyakubusocial, you would be able to get the book straight away. The reason why it's a challenge for most people is because of the things that we have heard as far as speaking and as far as selling is concerned. Perhaps you have been scammed before, maybe online or even offline. You have been tricked into buying something that you really didn't like, or you have been convinced into buying something that didn't actually bring you the desired results that you were looking for. Or maybe you have heard that, if you have heard that from friends or family that they bought something online that didn't work, or even programs that people hype a lot that you buy and you realize that actually there's actually not anything new here for me, or how they told you about how the instant results that you are going to get wasn't forthcoming, and you have lost money. So if you are skeptical about selling, about marketing, about salespeople, you are right. There's a survey that was done with coaches, and this survey question was, how would you describe someone who is in marketing? And it was shocking with the results that, they're liars, they're cheats, they manipulate people, they are dishonest, and so on and so forth. Now, this person who did the survey was trying to get people in therapists, to get them to reframe their mind about selling. Because imagine if you describe somebody as a liar, as a cheat, as a dishonest person, would you ever want to be associated with them? Maybe not. You won't. And because of that, it is difficult for people in genuine businesses to sell, because they don't want to be associated with the word selling, because it's very, very uncomfortable, and it is not nice to think that someone would think about you in that light. And especially for those who are coaches, who are therapists, who are consultants, you don't want to, be associated with things that people will not, you don't want to be seen in that light as someone who is deceitful, so to speak. So for that reason, people will build products, services, and yet they can't sell. So now I'll break it down into how and why, by leveraging, how you can leverage, number one, your speaking, number two, your relationship, number three, your ability to be able to sell. And I'll also throw in even the digital media as one of the places that you can literally sell. So, speaking, we all do speak, whether we kind of accept it or not, or whether we realize it or not, we do speak in various capacities. So, and even in a conversation, in general conversation, we speak. We try to articulate information that hopefully we get people to understand what we want to say, and to be able to convey the meaning to them. Again, in previous video, I've talked about when you are starting a business, Most of the time we think that it's about us and it's about what we can get, but of course it's about the recipient, it's about the customer, it's about your clients. What is it that you are going to be able to bring to them? What is that value are you going to bring to them? And if you can speak, if you are able to articulate the information in the sense that they understand about the value that you are going to bring to them, and if you can demonstrate that this value would actually serve them to be able to move from point A to B, to be able to satisfy whatever it is that you are going to help them get to, they are going to pay you the money, because the money now becomes irrelevant to them. So, for example, if someone has a toothache and they go to the dentist, will the money in their pocket be important to them, or the pain relief that they are going to get? If you think about it that way, even if I ask a child, I know that the answer will be that they would be concerned about the pain relief. And so for that matter, paying the dentist at this point to be able to relieve the pain would be a no-brainer to them. That is it. If you are able to get the people to understand that the solution that you're going to give them would relieve them of this pain, for instance, or draw them to the pleasure that they are looking for, they are going to be able to, their money then becomes irrelevant and they will pay you. Another example that I want to talk about is a weight loss coach, for instance. If someone is overweight, now many people wants to lose weight for various reasons, but most importantly, if, for example, they are diagnosed or they get a health scare, for instance, they go for blood check and the results is that they are on borderline diabetes, let me just say that, or hypertension. And the way or the reason how they can get off this, they can reverse this, would be to lose weight. And you can help them lose the weight. Will they not pay to lose the weight? Because guess what? By not losing the weight, they are eventually going to become hypertensive or diabetic, and they will spend so much more money in buying medications or going to and from doctors, and potentially get other complications. Whereas you could take them through a few weeks of coaching and training and get them to share some pounds that will help them to be able to live a healthier life, be able to walk, be able to breathe easy, be able to fit in beautiful clothes, and be able to kind of enjoy life. So if you're able to communicate this with people, guess what? It is a no-brainer that somebody would choose to work with you rather than go through the pain of getting to the point of now having complications. So your ability to speak is what will get people to understand this, or how you would make this clearer in their face or in their mind to be able to choose to work with you. Then relationship. So relationship matter a lot when it comes to business, because we don't sell to, I mean, if you sell business to business, it has to be people who will do the negotiation. So the relationships that still matter. And people don't buy what they need, they buy what they want. And because somebody can need something and they will still go and buy something else. What they want includes how they like you, who is selling what it is that they want to buy. So your ability to be able to make yourself relatable and to be able to build solid relationship is important. And that's why the area of social media is important, because that's where you can actually build the relationships with people. Because if you are not building relationship, guess what? When people are in need of buying, sometimes when the I think it's in this book, dig your well before you are thirsty. Dig your well before you're thirsty means that you build a relationship before the person is even in need of. And when you are providing people with value, let me just say this example. Actually, one time I was going to buy a book, Russell Branson's book, and I went on eBay. I actually found the book cheaper, but I went back to his website and bought the book. I bought the book from his website because you just feel that I've learned so much from him. Why would I not buy it from him directly? And even though that's a token gesture in a grand scheme of things, that is how the human being thinks. You feel that you owe the person because of the fact that they have been giving you value, that when it comes to the time for you to need what they're selling, you would buy it. So building relationship helps you as the business owner to get to the point of having a customer base or having leads in your filter, which is another thing that we'll come to when we get to leverage. So your ability to build relationship is key. And then your ability to kind of use simplicity to sell. For example, I think one of my mentors taught me that, when you are, she said it, but also when I was learning, when I was doing the financial education program during the pandemic, this was one of the things that we learned, that when you call somebody to talk about the education that you want to give them, you don't tell them, do you want to know or do you want to come? You tell them that, I've recently started this program where we help people to think about their finances and think about how to manage their money properly. I just wonder if there's somebody that who might be interested. And that, the first time I heard it was like, wow, this is clever, because, and then they explain it in the sense that it doesn't put the person under pressure to answer you yes, because especially when you have had a conversation with somebody or when you know people. So when you're starting a business, for example, they call it what the lower hanging fruit are the people you know. But when you say that, do you know someone, it means that you are getting them off the hook in terms of them not having to justify why they don't want what you are proposing. But it also gives them the chance to be able to say, oh yes, I'm interested. And that makes it a lot easier for both of you, in the sense that you are not in an awkward position. For example, if you ask, would you like it, and they said no, you don't feel embarrassed, and then maybe the conversation cannot flow as it should, or even the conclusion will not be as pleasant. But because you have put it in this way, the person can say, oh yeah, I would I will ask around, and if someone is in need of it, that means they are not interested, but at least they are not telling you that, and that can still let your relationship continue. But then again, if they are in need of it, or if they need it, then they would say that. you know, or what about me? Or, oh yes, I need it, I'll get my husband to, or my wife to, you know, for us to come and listen. So in terms of your business, that's what you're going to do. In fact, I remember when my daughter was starting her website business, I used to do that in church. I would just say, Vanessa, have just started building websites. Do you know anyone who would be interested? And that got us a few people. Even for those that I asked directly, did say that they were interested. So those are the things that you can start with in terms of your ability to communicate and get the message clearly. But also, consistency and persistence is important, because when it comes to selling, you have to be persistent. There was a statistics, in fact, I'm going to get it again. They always say that when you are prospecting, for example, if you talk to 30 people, 10 people will say yes. Then 3 people will take you seriously or will follow through, and then 1 person would eventually do the thing that you want them to do. So you can imagine 30. So always think about it in the thirds. So when you talk to 30 people, 10 people would say yes, 3 people would move forward, and 1 person will actually take you on. If you don't have the numbers, you are always going to feel disappointed. But then it is not you. It is not about you. It is not the people who are even saying no. It's not even that they are rejecting you, but it's because those are just the numbers. If you know those ones, yes, you will be happy, and you carry on being persistent to the end as far as your promoting is concerned. Then, of course, social media marketing in terms of selling online. These are all skills that you need to learn. How to actually get somebody from just talking with you online to the point of buying. And that's, again, it's here. Okay, so the last but not the least is the point of, you know, the leverage, which is the L. Leverage is now your ability to automate the process of the day-to-day business so that you can have the freedom to be able to fill your funnels. How do you fill your funnels? Or let's talk about the day-to-day mundane things, which is number 1, when you finally get a client, you want to be able to onboard them quickly and fast so that they can begin to enjoy the product, so to speak, or be able to post whatever it is that you've sold to them quickly. And sometimes for coaches, while we're doing that, we forget to prospect. And then, okay, you finish satisfying your clients before you now come back to look for more. And it doesn't work that way. It has to go seamlessly, so that when you are serving them, there are other things that are ongoing and bringing in people. And that is where the leverage power is, i.e. how you automate your process of getting clients. So your lead magnets, your communication in terms of your day-to-day prospecting, your ability to continuously produce content to educate people who would have interest in following you, to the extent that of building the know-like-trust factor, and your ability to also automate your social media so that it's not constantly consuming all your time, and having funnels that people can go through. That is your lead magnet, your email marketing, and all those things that will get you to the point of constantly having leads coming through, and then you serving them all the time without stopping this process of revolving. So those are the things with the S.I.M.P.L.Y model. Of course, I will be breaking these down once again into bits of chunks, 5-minute videos, so that you just understand it properly, because I absolutely want you to know that it is possible to build your business online and to be able to stay at home and look after your children and enjoy life and enjoy family and enjoy the money. Why not? My name is BeatriceYakubu, S.I.M.P.L.Y Family Business. Follow me at I am beatriceyakubusocial online. Take care. I come your way once again. Yeah. Before I go, you can, if you haven't done so before already, win the money game with an online business is on Amazon. Take care. Bye bye.